And we're live. Oh, look at that. We're live already. Wait, hold it. Where's the music? All right, here we are. We're live. We have the fantastic Wendy Bonbons as well as Joe Kiddo here in our various individual studios. You know what? I just noticed something. I flashed my eyes to everybody, and that's not right. There we are. All right, we're good. We're happy. We're fine. We're happy. You know what? I don't even have a drink yet. I'm just gonna reach back here and just give this a little. Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Hello, good.
Hi.
So what's everyone else drinking? I'm drinking this. Who's not sponsoring me, but they're based in Germany, so they might not know we exist yet. People can tweet pictures of me with this. Just and I'm out of tonic, so I'm drinking this straight. This is such a good gin. You can drink it straight. It is the world's best gin. Not just I'm saying this, but many different international competitions for gin market as the best gin in the world. So cheers. I love a lot of the Quebec gins, but I that's a bottle that I got recently and I quite enjoy it, even if those Quebec gins are not sponsoring me.
Cheers.
Slanche.
Has had to get in there with my glass of water.
Yes. Cheers some with water. It's supposed to be bad. By the way, for those who are just tuning in, we got people tuning in, commenting already. Hello, tell us where you're watching from. Here it is. Roshan's telling us that hello from Scarborough. Welcome, Scarborough. I'm glad you get to view outside of that place. So what am I doing insulting people? I shouldn't be talking like that. This is the Love Doctor live stream. We are going to be answering your questions about love, sex, and relationships. And we have our new vanity URL. It's right there. So people, it's easier for people to find us on YouTube. And that is that's a joy. So more people can get to know us and participate with us, asking their questions about love, sex, and relationships. I'm here with this fantastic panel tonight, and we're going to be answering your questions. Joe, how are you doing? What's your week been like? Just so I know. And what are you drinking?
I'm drinking beer, always. I'm a big beer person. And I'm just getting out of COVID, so my weeks have been pretty quiet and calm and resting. So that's been kind of nice, but bad at the same time. But yeah, I'm doing better. And I'm happy to be back.
The isolation can be bad. I actually, last Wednesday, there was a person from Denmark at the Wiggle Room, and they were drinking an IPA, and they said it was a good IPA. I'm not sure those go together, but it's all right.
I'm drinking wine right now, so be careful.
Oh, all right. So you're an IPA.
Yeah.
All right. Wendy, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I did a photo shoot today, which is exciting, down by one of the lighthouses here in the harbor.
Ooh.
So I got to spend my day out in the fog and the rain and the drizzle, and it's good.
I'm following several photography sites from Newfoundland because it's always the pictures of the icebergs so close to the shore, and everything is gorgeous. All right, we're going to get into answering people's questions about love, sex, and relationships. By the way, doctor is my family name. I'm not a medical professional, so this is for entertainment purposes only. Well, not only. It's good advice. This is common sense, and it's coming from a panel. So you're getting 3 different views, which might correspond with each other. So the first question we have here is: taking someone to a food truck considered taking someone out to dinner? All right, Joe, you are in the hot seat, so you get that question first.
Good one. I'd say yes if you're into that kind of thing. Like if you're expecting like a really big dinner, like at a fancy restaurant or something, that I can get why that would be surprising. But if they're upfront and they tell you, hey, would you like to go to food truck with me? Then it's definitely going out and having fun and just being with someone. And I think it can be great, but as long as you know what you're getting into, just like kind of for any kind of dates or going out thing in general.
Boom. Wendy.
Yes, there's food, it's dinner. You're eating, if that's what was promised. If there was more promise, as Joe said, then like you have to up your game a little depending on where you said you were going. But if you just said dinner, there's food, it counts.
I think both of you had great answers. And it is outside. That's the other part. It's out. If you have to take the food back, that's not going out for dinner, though. That's just to stress. You'll have to eat it outside. And both of you have been in Montreal, and that the food trucks in Montreal are slightly different than other places. It's not like a $2 hot dog from a cart in Toronto, because a lot of the food trucks for two people, you could easily blow $50 here in Montreal. It makes no sense to me, but you can't have cheap food in Montreal and have it mobile. It just doesn't work for some sort of legal reasons that I don't fully understand. But then again, a duck confit poutine with maple bacon.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're making the mirror from Snow White want to come back to Montreal.
I'm beside myself. Like, that sounds so good.
All right. So we're ready for the next question. Did I not put everybody in the big windows? All right. Whatever. We're moving on this one. My boyfriend plays at shows with his band and is always comping his buddies to come see him play. Yet when the girls and I want to go, we have to pay to get in. We drink just as much as the guys, and I'm sleeping with him, so why aren't we ever comped? Is this what they mean by bros before hoes? Oh, all right. That's a rude question. Before we get started, Chris Kelly is saying hello from Vermont. And Wendy, you are in the hot seat.
I think there could be a lot of reasons, but for some reason, the first thing that came to my mind was maybe his guy friends will give him a harder time than you and the girls. Potentially that might be it. Maybe he can handle you razzing him about having to pay a little bit better. But maybe the guys would, not come, just strictly not show up. But maybe he knows that you would. That's the first thing that came to my mind, but probably just straight out ask. Sometimes it might be a matter of like, you only get so many tickets to comp, something like that, but just straight up ask. And if you're paying enough drinks, sometimes it might be nice to get a little treat of your own and get them for free.
Boom.
Yeah, I was
Joe.
going to say the same thing. Like, just ask. And if the reasons are not good enough, maybe just offer some kind of rotation system where one time it's for the boys, one time it's for the girls, and vice versa. And you just go along with them and like just figure something that works for everybody.
Boom. There's a second part to that question that hasn't been addressed yet. It says, is this what they mean by bros before hoes? And no, that's not what they mean. The other thing too is there could be things involved such as financial. Maybe his friends aren't working; they're underwaged, and so they need the discount to be able to go out for the night. Whereas you and your female friends all have good paying jobs. So that could be one of the reasons. And again, a limited number of comps to go around. But communicate with your partner. Find out from them why. I think the other two here mentioned that rather well. And yeah, communication is key. There we are. Oh, geez, we got a horrible question coming up. We're all set. I just say it. Hello. I noticed that we have some more people coming in. I just want to say hello to everyone. Happy Ramadan, Easter, and it's Passover. That's happening right now. So it's all happening on one day. And if you're here, that means you're probably tired of being with your family, which I completely understand. So we're going to get this started with the next question that we have. What's the best/worst pickup line you ever heard? Ever heard or ever said? All right. You know what? I heard a bad one come from my mouth before, so I will. I'm just. I need to preface some of this too. Is I don't think what makes a pickup line good or bad be the words themselves, but who they're coming from. If you're already interested in the person, they're going to be great. If you find that person not appealing at all, it's a very good chance that one sentence is not going to change your mind. I went for a pub crawl with a number of friends for a birthday, and I went to a part of town I don't normally go to because they were trying to take me to as many bars as possible. And there was one bar that my family had problems with in the past, and I had ended up there, and the servers at that bar were actually very famous for how lippy they are. It was a point of pride to them how harshly they would shoot down the men that went to that bar. And I don't remember it happening. It was related to me that this is what I said, but I was a much younger man at the time. I said, look, I know you're going to be hit on by 1,000 jerks tonight. Can you just count me among them? And allegedly, I got a phone number, but I never found it in my pocket the next day. So I was told I was given the phone number, but nothing came of it. But that is what I said. Worst pickup, worst. I don't know if that's the best or the worst, but it rather surprised the other people at the table because they were waiting to see a strip taken off my hide. But oh well. I can't think of a worst. The only thing that's worst is to have somebody who you are obviously not interested in be persistent and not take no. That's the worst type of pickup line. Wendy.
I think the worst pickup line I've heard is, baby, do you have a mirror in your back pocket? Because I can see myself in your pants. And it makes me cringe every time. Every time.
No.
Should I ask how much Axe body spray you could smell at that time?
It was not Axe body spray. It was pure sweat from somebody standing behind me.
All right. Do you have a best to share?
Really like simple puns and things. So I think my favorite pickup line would be, the one about the pizza, but I probably can't tell you because it's too cheesy.
Boom. Oh, we fell for that. I fell for that hard.
Yeah, me too.
It's
All
good.
right.
It's smooth, right?
It's very smooth. And Joe, best worst pickup lines.
The worst kind to me are the ones that are supposed to be creative, especially online on like dating apps. Like recently I got a DM on Instagram. It was just a soccer ball emoji with ... And then it said, oh, sorry, my ball rolled all the way up to your DMs. While I'm here, I just wanted to say hi or something. I was like, what is that? And it took me like 5 minutes to actually understand what was happening. And I was like, what? No, it didn't do that. It didn't just do that right now. So yeah, I'm with Wendy on simple ones, a cute little pun that just makes you smile, and that's kind of it. And again, take the no. If the person is not interested or your pickup line is not working, just drop it. Yeah.
But I have to say, it would make a lot more sense if it was ... then soccer ball.
I
rather
think
than
it was
soccer ball,
something like that. Yeah, one or the other, but it was bad either way, honestly. As long as you need an emoji to like deliver a line, I think no. It was creative though, but I've seen it like all over everywhere on the internet, and that no.
If everyone wants to just type in chat what they think is a great pickup line, feel free to do so. I think being sincere is the best pickup line you could possibly do. And just kind of be honest when you approach somebody. Like introduce yourself and ask if you could buy them a drink or ask them their name or do both. Are both good things to be doing. You know what? The soccer ball in the park though works. Like if you're in the park and all of a sudden a ball comes where you're sitting or whatever, and just sorry, my ball came and hi, I'm this is my name and you look great. Can I have your name and what are you doing later? Do you want to pass the ball back and forth? Never mind. Why am I explaining? I'm explaining somebody
But
else's poor
actually,
pickup line.
like I was in a park once, and I was with a bunch of girlfriends, and there were some guys playing with some ball, whatever, and they kept trying to hit the ball closer to us, but they were so bad at it that they kept missing, and so they were just going around us, and they never managed to actually bring the ball close to us enough so that they could start a conversation. But we completely saw what they were doing because they were like chatting and pointing at us, and we're like, no, stop. You've been trying for 2 hours. Just drop it. Like, it's done for you guys. And it was so bad. So even in parks, make sure you know how to aim a bit, at least, because it can go both ways.
I feel a little bit bad if they were that hard of hitting the ball closer to you as a human being. How bad would they be at fighting the clitoris? Just
Yeah, exactly.
all right. The next question that we have here is why do some people kiss with their eyes open? Joe.
I didn't know that was a thing, honestly. so I'm not sure I have an answer to that question. Generally speaking, if they feel more comfortable, that's good for them. But yeah, I've never experienced that firsthand, so I won't comment any further.
All right. I just let's also. I'm going to throw this to the audience as well. Do you kiss with your eyes open or closed? I'm going to say. How does this person know? I guess they kiss with their eyes open, so that's how they have discovered this weird little fact or this question. So why is it that you kiss with your eyes open? Maybe to check to see if the other person closes their eyes. That could be the reason. Either that or they don't trust the person they're kissing. Then why are they kissing them? Just
I don't know. Maybe they're going overboard with eye contact. They're just waiting for you to open your eyes too for that magic connection while your tongues are wrapped around each other. I don't know.
so I realized that I just moved my eyes closer to the camera so people could see me making eye contact, but then sunglasses. All right. What? All right. I've not taken anything to make me silly yet. I've only had a little bit of the gin. And the next question we have is my significant other knows I scare easily, but the other night I bit the bullet and watched a horror movie with her. I made it through a good chunk of the movie before a jump scare freaked me out and I had to turn the movie off. She laughed for nearly 5 minutes straight, saying it wasn't that bad. It upset me because I was genuinely scared and had enough of it. Red flag, or am I overthinking things? Wendy.
I think in that situation, that could be one of those things that might be a red flag to you, but maybe not to somebody else. Your sensitivity levels in terms of you easing yourself into horror movies and what you expect from your partner in that situation. If it's not, these types of outcomes, then that's your red flag. It's okay to not have a universal red flag in that circumstance. Not everybody has a fear of horror movies or is like very easily scared. But as somebody who has cried before while being startled around a corner, I can sympathize and empathize. But again, it's not like a red flag for everybody. If you communicate and they don't respond well, the poor response is the red flag, but not so much, them giving you a hard time about the horror movie. So as we keep coming back to always talk, but yeah, just ease into it. You'll get through it. I'm here with you.
if they knew that it could be a hard time for you and like you kind of put a rule in, like if it's too scary for me, we're gonna stop because I won't be able to go through the movie with you, and their response was laughing at you for 5 minutes, then yeah, definitely a red flag. If it was clear that it was a big step for you and you made it clear that it was going to be hard, then yeah, they should have been there for you. And sometimes they don't even need to understand why it's so scary or why it's so overwhelming to their partner. They just need to be there. Like I have irrational fears and I have some PTSD that I'm dealing with and stuff, and my boyfriend doesn't understand everything, but he's there for me no matter what. And maybe they should have seen that you were really in a bad place and they should have stopped laughing at some point at least to console you and be there for you.
Boom. Everything was well said. I don't think I could say anything better. Both of you handled that question perfectly. And again, now I need to know what movie that was, but I'm just so I can avoid it. I'm not a big scary movie person.
I hate scary movies.
Love them.
There's certain like I love the tension of a good suspense, right? And if there's a comedic horror film, I'm probably gonna be there, and I can handle those type of jump scares. Torture porn is not my thing. And
Oh no. No,
Yeah.
that's a whole different type of horror. That's
Yeah,
emotional
exactly.
trauma too.
Exactly. So those are all things that I personally would avoid. All right. When I can. I mean, sometimes a movie is just too good. You have to watch it. The Shining.
Hmm.
All right. Next question we have is, which is better, Easter candy or Easter chocolate? Easter candy or Easter chocolate? Joe, you are in the hot seat.
Chocolate, all the way. In France, we don't even have Easter candy, honestly. In Europe, in general, it's just chocolate. So yeah, I've actually never heard of Easter candy before coming to Canada. So yeah, not my kind of traditions.
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Boom. Wendy.
I think I'm in it for the candy because ever since I was a kid, I always got these like plastic Easter eggs. The front was like clear and it always came with Laffy Taffy inside of it. And I love Laffy Taffy. So candy.
All right. I grew up in a household traditionally with chocolate. I love the chocolate, but there's one thing about Easter, and I think it's because it's the limited time that it's available, and so many people despise it. Peeps.
No, I knew you were going to say it. Oh.
I said it, and I mean it. Peeps. There's something about that sugar-covered marshmallow that is just, it drives me a little bit crazy. I get my fill over the lead up to the Easter season, and then I'm done, and I say, oh, I'm never going to eat any more Peeps, and then next year comes around, I'm going, where are my Peeps at? That's what I say to people, is I say, where are my Peeps at? Just I know it's just hits in my head, and I need to have it. It's just there's also a Dutch tradition that I grew up with, because we had neighbors who were originally Dutch, and that is to put out slippers. They would put out wooden shoes, and the gifts and the candy would be put in the shoes or slippers. So that is the thing. When you wake up, you'd have the chocolate in your slippers. So always look before you put on your slippers. Same thing if you live in Arizona too, because that could be a scorpion. What? I have no idea what I'm saying half the time, but I'm glad that you're with me on this. This is a fun little journey. On our next question we have is, I've been spending a lot of time alone and being intimate with myself. I don't hate it. This is a statement, not a question. Boom. That's perfectly normal. Everyone should or does take this time. How can you tell people, oh, Peeps for the win? There we go. Roshan, I agree with somebody from Scarborough on that one. Peeps for the win. How can you expect a partner to know how to touch you if you don't know how to touch yourself?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I just wanted to just upload what you just said. That's it.
All right. So you agree, nothing to add?
Oh yeah. No, nothing to add. You just said it all.
Boom.
Yeah, I think why do you need somebody else to help you with something that you can do yourself? Sometimes you don't want to be around somebody else. Get the job done.
All right. Roshan's apologizing to Wendy.
I don't forgive you. I don't forgive you for the peeps. I don't.
Look, think of it this way. If we're eating the peeps, then you don't have them.
You're furthering the industry.
Yeah.
I've never had peeps. I think I should add that to the conversation.
So
I don't even know what they are. So I'm just like, all right.
Oh my goodness, Joe. We don't need
can
them.
I
That's
just
the
Google
thing.
them like real quick to see what
Just Google them. It's basically it's a marshmallows shaped as little chickens or chickies, and then covered in colored sugar.
Oh. All right.
And if you put it in the microwave,
Oh no.
it's horrifying. If you go to YouTube, there's like
Aw,
peeps.
They're cute. Okay, I'm gonna rush to like the nearest store tomorrow to try and find some.
They're probably all gone at this point, but
Yeah. You took them all, didn't you? Yeah.
I only had 2 packs this year.
Okay.
2 whole packs on my own. There's a reason I'm this size. All right. We've got all right. Yeah, and also yeah, never be I don't get the idea like wanker as an insult. Right? Everybody touches themselves at some point. I don't prefer to being with a partner, except maybe sometimes it's just like it's better to know. If you know yourself, you can help yourself achieve faster than a stranger generally. And Roshan's going, see, don't they look delicious? There we are.
I shouldn't have even done that. I shouldn't have brought the picture up.
Maybe towards the end of the show, I'll show a little video of peeps in the microwave.
Amazing.
I'll try to find that before the end of the show. The next question we have here is, I'm stuck with my parents for the holidays. How do I watch porn guilt-free? All right, Wendy.
You don't ever get rid of Catholic guilt. I'm sorry.
That was my first thought.
It's true. But I don't know, because when I was living with my parents, it was always a fear. It was a fear. You turn on the music very loud. You hope to God no one comes near your room, because why would you be using anything that sounds like vibrating in your room other than what you think it is, So depending on what equipment you are working with, or, what you're using in terms of like headphones, etc., you just have to hope and be as silent as possible. Or if you grew up in a sex positive family and you're cool with it, or they're cool with it, then maybe you just need to like get your mind into a different place and pretend that you're not where you are and escape. And then you'll feel more comfortable on the inside, and then the insides will come out in the way that you want.
I like that turn of phrase. Yeah, definitely the first thought for me is guilt free is not be religious. There is good Catholic boy here. Yeah, it does make a difference about how sex positive your home is. I think Wendy has touched. Sorry, I don't know if that was the right way to say it, but the major buttons have been pushed. No, where there is. It is it is your body, it's your choice, and it's your pleasure. wait for them to be asleep. Might be one thing. Lock the door. Here we are.
Yeah.
Joe.
Headphones all the way. And if you have really good noise cancelling headphones, make sure you don't have a door in your back, because then you won't hear the people come in. So just look at the door. Whatever you do, just manage to look at the entryway so you know if someone's coming. Because if you can't hear a thing, that would lead to surprising interactions. So yeah, that would be my thing. Or wait for them to be asleep. Yeah, that's also a really good one.
There was one thing I forgot to mention, because Wendy was talking about vibrating utensils or tools or appliances. That's the word. Is if you sort of place a pillow over the area where you're using that, then it does help deaden the sound.
Same for your face. If you're someone who is a bit louder than they should be.
You know what? I've always assumed that people who are quiet during the act is somebody who masturbated with a larger household. Just because, you know, you associate like you don't want to be loud during sex because you know, when you were first learning to orgasm, you didn't want to alert the other people in the house.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And here we are with the next question. What is your favorite toy brand or toy? Joe, you are in the hot seat.
I'm still on a little discovery journey on that matter. I haven't tried everything there is out there yet. But anything vibrating is a go-to for me, for sure. But yeah, there are so many types and so many kinds. Some that you use on your own, some you use with partners. So yeah, it's hard to just choose one kind. Yeah.
Wendy.
I had to look it up because I didn't remember the name. So my favorite toy brand is Revibe. And I just like their products because they're really durable. There's nothing worse than like dropping a new vibrator or something rolling off your bed, and then all of a sudden it's all wonky and it doesn't work right, and you just paid X amount of hundreds of dollars for like the most amazing thing that's broken. But they have a really good, believe it or not, warranty on their products. They manage to do it in a sanitary way where they dispose of your item and you get a new item, which I think is very important because they have a higher price on most of their items. But again, it's worth it because you get a high quality item and you get good warranty on something that you're spending a lot of money on. But their best one would probably be their Bullet, and it's called the Tango. And it's the best name for a vibrator, and it's fairly quiet. It's about the same size as a lipstick, but yeah, it's been going strong for quite a few years. And I feel like if you invest in something and it lasts that long, then you know you did good with your investment. And they have toys for everyone across the gender spectrum.
Nice. That's good. All right. There's, you know, I always need to have a bit more experience. There are bullet vibes that you can insert into other toys, which does give a variety. Toys that I've used with partners. The Hitachi magic wand, there's a danger to it. It actually comes with a warning not to do direct or extended clitoral stimulation, like direct clit stimulation with it, because it can be damaging to the nerves. But using it with other toys, like non-vibrating toys, if you have something inserted and then you press the Hitachi wand to the bottom of it, it has that vibration go all the way through, which you know, with something like a beautiful sculpture like a bad dragon or something of that type, is always good. A lot of female friends have recommended I think WeVibe does a version, but there was a version, and when it first came out, it was the first one of its type, but it was horribly named. Do either of you know which one I'm talking about?
Is it the womanizer?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one too.
Yeah. It gets good reviews. It's just got a bad name. And
that's interesting. A reminder to always read the labels. I did not know that about the Hitachi.
It can basically, it overstimulates. It's like people talk about dead dick for men when they've done too much damage to the head of the dick, and it's less sensitive. And the same thing can happen with the clitoris, and the Hitachi is probably the number one reason for that. But the thing is, placing it near or adjacent, and the vibration moves through the skin, that's safe. I'm just saying, just don't, punch your clitoris at 100 times a second. Just might not be a good idea.
Poor thing. Really, you got to take care of it.
Oh, definitely. It's just, personally, I love to kiss it better all the time. There's, can I share something? Is it all right?
You already
Something
said it.
I'm very, very intrigued by are the remote control vibes, or even the Bluetooth vibes. Because that's a way to sort of play in public without being public.
They also have long range, like across provinces.
Yes, you can use it via Bluetooth. So like I could be on my phone here and somebody could be in Vancouver and I could be doing that. Welcome, happy Easter. Way to jump in on that, Rat GTV. Just to hear us talking about making somebody orgasm 8 provinces away.
Happy Easter. That is a happy Easter. I purchased one of those like during the beginning of the pandemic. And it was like one of my most expensive toys I've purchased, but it was very, very like wonderful to aid in the relationship from a long distance when I moved home.
Boom. Yeah. And that's another reason for it as well. There you go. I just joined in at the best time. And let's go. The next question we have here is, my meds are making my sex drive non-existent. What can I do? Talk with your doctor. Not all meds have the same side effects. So there is a chance that you can get medication that still helps you, that will not kill your sex drive. And that's probably the best and smartest thing you can do. Joe?
The only thing you can do, really. Like, it's the medical thing, so there's technically nothing you're going to be able to do that's going to help, because it's going to be just artificial solutions. So yeah, go to your doctor.
Boom. Wendy?
Yeah, I think, obviously going to your doctor is the best approach, but you can also get fulfillment intimately from different ways. And if this is like a long-term battle for you, and you maybe this medication is the perfect medication in every way except for that one way. That's happened to a lot of people before. You're not going to be the last, definitely, that has this issue. But finding ways to stimulate yourself, maybe not, physically, sexually with your genitals, maybe and maybe mentally, and maybe just explore yourself in other ways while you're figuring out the answers for that one with the medication. But don't stop taking your meds without talking to your doctor.
Boom. The very important part about that. And what was I going to say? All right, I forget. All right, my memory's bad. That's what my meds do to me, and I'm, but they don't affect my sex drive, so that's good. It's balance. You go for balance. Then we're going to be bringing up the next question at this time. And my partner is an artist and they don't want me to go to their shows. This hurts my feelings and they won't tell me exactly why. Would you do this to your partner? Wendy?
I feel a little put in an extra hot seat because how I treat my partners and the relationship that you in are very different, and hopefully they are both positive, but they are both very different. If your significant other doesn't enjoy you going to their shows, all you can do is really talk to them. It could be something as easy as like maybe they just feel embarrassed in front of you. You know, I've the few times I've done comedy, I know it's a bit different, but like in front of family, I feel like a complete fraud. I no longer think I'm funny, even though they do. So it really just, you know, it depends on how they feel and how comfortable you are talking to them about it. And if you're coming at it from a place of like you want to support them and that's why you want to go to the show, maybe there's something else you can think of, like, you know, bringing them to the show and picking them up, or just little things. You know, it depends on the situation, but there's more than likely a compromise to be had for you both, and especially if they're you know, an art is a part of their life and you are, there's definitely something that you two can work out.
Well said. I do want to remind people that they can ask questions. We've got the anonymous link down there, but you could just drop your questions into the chat if you have any questions. But if you want to ask anonymously, it's slido.com or sli.do, and the event code is TLD218 because it's season 2, episode 18. There's two things. For me, when I'm performing, I have to be sort of in a mindset, and I can't give my partner the attention they deserve at that time. I've also dated people who ended up being jealous of my performances, and you know, like they'd be welcome at the show, but I recommend that they bring somebody with them so they could sit with somebody who they want to chat with and hang out with. But you know, what I say or do, I have no problem. It's just I want to have my mind on the track of the show. And that's an important thing for me to do a good show, is that I'm thinking on that basis. I've had relatives and friends walk up to me after a show who completely enjoyed it, and I didn't even know they were there. And I've had shows with relatives and friends in the audience, and you know, if I'm not having to interact with them before I go on stage, then I'm okay. But if it's somebody that I'm worried about could be lonely or is not having a good time before I'm there with them, then I feel a little guilty. Joe.
I think Wendy and you did say all that I was thinking about. Like, just chat with them, ask them why it's important for you not to come, find ways to compromise or help them, support them, just share their shows on like your social media, or talk to your friends, or like you can help in other ways. Just welcome them when they come back from the show with like a warm bath or like a good drink, and help them unpack and things. Like, there are a lot of ways you can help, but yeah, for me it's like amazing to have support in the audience. My boyfriend just came to to see me for the first time like a couple of weeks ago. Yay! And it was amazing. But like, I didn't take care of him at all. Like, he was there for the show, which I was part of, but I wasn't like there holding his hand. I was doing my thing. I was talking to a lot of people and I was just focused. And he completely gets that because he knows I'm there for the show and he's here to enjoy everything that's happening on stage. And we talked and debriefed on all the other performers, and it was a competition too. So it was pretty crazy for me. And I was like super, super focused. And it was just great to have him here. So
What show was that? What show?
It was the burlesque competition at the Mado.
Oh,
that happened,
right.
Yeah, the Cabaret Mado, and it's happening until the last weekend of May. Yeah, the final is there. Yeah, and I was one of the first contestants. So yeah, that was fun.
Congrats.
Thank you. And it was like a great opportunity to be at Cabaret Mado, but it was also super stressful. So we just met there. I didn't even see him like in the audience, and he had fun. I had my amazing time on stage, and that was it.
The one question I asked, did they go alone or did they have people with them?
Actually, like, there were like 20-something people that came to see me that night, from my friends and like my boyfriend. All of his former roommates were there. Like, it was crazy. They all asked him, "Do you mind if we come like see you girlfriend on stage because like we don't know her that well. And so that was cute of them to ask if he was comfortable with all of his friends being there too. So yeah, he had a lot of people to chat and just enjoy the show with. But yeah, they were there for the show, not just for me, which made a huge difference for me and took a lot of pressure out of my shoulders for sure.
Boom. And I think that's the important thing is they were not there alone. They weren't sort of like pining or trying to grab your attention while you were getting in the mindset for show. And that's important. It's also kind of important to understand that as a performer, like we want to build up our name and our reputation. So when people see it on a poster, they want to come see us. And part of that is interacting with these people to build up a fan base. And that's an important part of the business. And having a partner who recognizes that that is part of the business it's a joy. It really does make a lot of sense. All right. Oh, there we go. Oh boy, we got more questions coming in, which is great. Fantastic. Next question we have is, I only want to hook up in public. Should I put that in my Tinder profile? What would help me narrow down my search? Joe, can you handle that one?
I'll try. I don't know about the bio, but maybe be upfront really quickly into the conversation. If you feel that's where you're going with the person, because sometimes you meet people on Tinder that you're not going to want to hook up with, but that doesn't mean you can't be friends, or you can just hang out from time to time or just have fun. But if you feel that the conversation is going somewhere that could lead to hooking up, then yeah, be upfront and then share that attraction or need that you may have. But don't wait for you to take them like at a bar or at a restaurant or something, expecting to hook up in public, because sometimes not how people want it to go. So yeah, just be upfront and communicate.
Boom. Wendy.
Yeah, I don't know if you should exactly put it in your Tinder bio, because it might filter things in the wrong way that you do not intend. You never know. People are crazy. But I feel like being very open about it, and just like if you are somebody who's like very open with your sexuality and very open with things that like turn you on, and that's who you are, being upfront about that with somebody, not only will it attract somebody who also has the same values and ideas, it'll also help you get to where you want to go quicker. If you are spending your time with somebody who like they're more reserved and that's really not something they'd like, it's maybe not a waste of your time, but it might be, you know, not exactly what you're looking for if you're considering putting it in your Tinder bio. If you want to be that direct about it and like you want the sex in public, then tell people that like straight up, but do it so in a way that it's safe and comfortable. Obviously, you know, if you're going on Tinder, there's lots of things to be mindful of to keep yourself safe. So just keep those things in mind. And, you know, when you're meeting people, I know the first thing that people recommend is meeting someone in a public place. So take that the way you will.
Boom. I was going to mention that because, you know, you do recommend that you meet people in public. You don't want to be meeting someone for the first time, them expecting that something will happen right then and there. Tinder is the kind of place that does attract that type. Just gonna say casually, not to be, to denigrate Tinder a little bit. I think both of you covered most everything very well. I do want to remind people that you know, public play needs to be considerate to make sure that no one would be aware who or be considered a participant who is not willing to be or knowledgeable that they're a participant. So, you know, public play could be the bathroom of a bar, or in a secluded area off of a hiking trail or whatever. You just don't want to accidentally, you know, meet somebody on Tinder who wants to do it on the park bench in front of a school, right? During school hours. That would be that would be ethically a little bit wrong. And so
And
saying that
illegal.
you and illegal.
Legally as well, yeah.
Yeah. So it's that is why I would say not put it in your Tinder profile, because you might attract the people who want to be a bit more extreme than you wish to be about it, or at least a little bit more unethical than you wish to be about it. And we're ready for the next question, or should we have some more comments on that? Should we ask the audience, where's your favorite public place to have sex? Just if you want to say,
Don't
you
say
can write
porta
it in.
potties.
Oh, no. I don't care how good the festival is. All right, the next question we have here. Is public proposals like the fancy restaurant during the dinner rush a trap, since if she says no, she looks bad? I'm in the hot seat. All right, first off, you don't need to be so heteronormative or gender normative in saying that she's the only person who's receiving that proposal is a woman. Because women can propose, and also not every couple is with the a binary couple at that point. So and yeah, public proposals, you need to kind of plan it. Doing it during a dinner rush at a restaurant is sort of rude to the restaurant. You need to be damn confident about these things, about them saying. I think anytime that you're asking somebody to marry you, you have to be damn confident that they're going to be saying yes. Marriage is a nice promise. I believe in the promise of marriage. I don't expect it to be a forever thing. It is something with any relationship, you have to work on it forever. So I would say public proposals, I don't think it's a trap, but I do think they are inconsiderate. And Roshan just said, I saw a public proposal go horribly wrong at a Leafs game once. Felt horrible for them both. Definitely turned me off the idea. Yes, watching the Leafs will turn most people off of marriage. Joe.
Well, know your partner, first of all, whoever they are, and know what kind of proposal they would be into. I've been dropping clues all over my boyfriend for months on how I want or would like him to propose one day. And public proposals are not for me, because I'm going to be boiling, I'm going to be crying, I'm going to be like just wanting to hug him forever. And I don't want to have the waiter behind me be like, so would you like dessert or what? No, I want to have that moment with my partner and just keep that moment just for the both of us forever. So my boyfriend knows that. He knows I want that. So I let him choose the way he wants to do that, but he knows restaurants is off the table. So maybe just try and figure what kind of proposal your partner would like, first of all. And then try and see if they would be into proposal at all in the first place, because not everyone is up for marriage and weddings and stuff. And for some people, that's not something they're really interested in. So just try and figure everything out before you take that leap of faith in some ways.
Boom. Well said. Wendy.
I do think during a dinner rush, as somebody who has worked in a kitchen, I think anything during a dinner rush is inconsiderate, and everything you received is correct. Nothing needs to go back. But I think, knowing as Joe said, knowing your partner is really important. I personally would be mortified if I got a public proposal. Not only do I not believe in marriage, I also am easily embarrassed in my general muggle day. And I don't like the extra tension, and I don't like being put on the spot. And when I'm given an ultimatum of any sorts or anything that feels pressured, I normally run away from it. So I would quickly hightail my ass out of that restaurant and be very embarrassed and probably never eat there again. But I think, knowing your partner, if you and your partner are there and that's something you both feel right in and you think is the next step, maybe your favorite restaurant might be something that they'll enjoy, or that you will both enjoy together. It might be a beautiful memory, but if you don't know your partner, you could get someone like me booting it out of the restaurant and never eating there again.
Well said. There we are. All right, we have our next question. There it is. What's the difference between a teddy and a negligee? I picture teddy like a teddy bear, so warm and fuzzy jammies, and negligee as less as in negative or minus fabric. Am I close?
I
you need
don't
to
know. A teddy is supposed to be like the tank top, but it's flowy, right?
No, that's the other
that's
one.
That's a baby doll.
Yeah.
Love doctor, you know your lingerie. Excuse me. I'll just pass. I pass.
All right. I'm not positive. I believe what's the choices again? It's negligee and teddy. I believe a teddy is sort of like it's a loose bodysuit. It's more flowing. Whereas a teddy, a negligee is more loose. It might have the shorts attached, but whereas a baby doll is just hangs loose. Think of the fembots from Austin Martin. But a teddy would have like the snap at the gusset and be a bit tighter on the hips. I'm getting nods from Joe Kiddo.
Is a teddy.
Yeah. The teddy is like the little how do you call it? Yeah, but you said that like with the snaps, and it's more like underwear, really. Whereas a negligee is something like, you know, this kind of super slim, silky kind of lingerie dress with like super short and like thin straps. Like that's supposed to be what you wear outside of bed with like a little robe on top. But it's like super flowy. It's like a dress. Whereas the teddy is like underwear. It has most of the time support for the breast and the snaps. Yeah. But then there are different kinds and stuff, but that's mostly what it is.
I feel so uneducated.
You know what? The most important thing is, how do you get it off politely? Yeah. And how much does it interrupt, or if it destroys the mood, whether or not it does.
How do you wash it?
How do you wash it's very important for the day after. Yes.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Yeah. And as to the other part of the question saying, am I close? I don't know. How are you feeling? All right. Roshan is saying, today I learned. There we are. My own father would say, a day you don't learn something is a poor day. So there it is. Mm-hmm. He never learned another phrase, though. But that's... All right. Well, the next question that we have is, speaking of dating apps, I just moved to a new city and signed up for Hinge to get restaurant recommendations. Once they tell me where they like to eat, I unmatch them and check it out on my own. If I'm eating well so far, but my best friend says it's shitty of me. Am I the asshole? That's the question. Am I the asshole? Joe.
I think it's genius, honestly. What I've heard and learned not so long ago is that there are students who actually go on dates with people from dating apps just to get free food, because they're students and they have to choose where they spend their money. So they'd rather just spend a night with random people from dating apps to get food, which is also a genius way to think of life, but it's not morally the best way to just act sometimes. But if you're not leading people on as to, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna go there together, you're just like asking genuine recommendation, then maybe there's nothing wrong with that. I'd love to help someone who just moved to Montreal, whether it's on Hinge or anywhere else, for like good recommendation and stuff. So as long as they're not leading me on thinking, oh yeah, I'm definitely interested in you and I definitely want to know you and I definitely want to go have dinner with you one day, then I don't really see where the problem is.
Boom. Wendy.
Yeah, as long as you're not wasting anyone's time and they don't think that there's something potentially going to happen, like going out to dinner and going out to said restaurant that you're talking about, then you're not hurting anybody. But yeah, just don't waste anybody's time. But you eat good, and I appreciate that.
But I'm not familiar with Hinge, but I know that some dating apps are metered, so men only get so many messages. Like they have to pay to keep going, where a lot of women are on for free. So again, wasting their time and also wasting their money. There's another app that you can use. It's called Facebook. You go into like the local community saying, hey, what's the best restaurants in town? And that way, locals would be able to respond to that. There we go. Lorraine Taylor's jumping in saying, hello, everyone. Joe, you actually said something that it kind of made me go, what? Because you were saying that students who would use dating apps to meet people, go for dinner and spend nights with people, like that's technically sex work, but it's really low priced.
Yeah, it's escorting for sure. It's more like just sharing dinner with someone more than anything else, because I can't say for them that they doing any kind of other activities with the people they're meeting, but having food with them. It's definitely low on the moral compass to some people, but hey, if you need to eat at some point, and maybe they have great times with the people they meet also. So yeah, being a student can be hard. For sure.
I completely understand. It does feel sort of in the air of leading someone on. If if it's sex work, I think you're being underpaid for just a meal. But yeah, I guess each person does their own thing. All right. Sex work is work, and it definitely deserves to be protected like other employees in the country of Canada, which does an okay job of protecting a lot of the different employees that are here. And oh, shoot, that was actually the last question we have. We've been on for over an hour, and I haven't even mentioned that if people want to support the channel, what we do is we can take more questions. If more questions are coming in, we will be staying on. But we have a link here. So linktr.ee/Paul Ash, that's my manager. You can go to that. The first thing is buy me a drink, and anything that comes in the next 24 hours will be split among all three performers that you're seeing here. Okay, no, I don't want to be misleading. Wendy Bonbons has suggested that they want to give back their portion back to the show. I'm going to say that I argued against doing that, but
send money.
And I do also want to be recommending this as well. We have the cosmic.bonbons on Instagram is the very wonderful Wendy Bonbons. Oops, that's the wrong button. We do have a new question has come in. And the season 4 or season 5 of the Cosmic Bonbon Show?
Season 5.
Season 5 starts in
this coming Sunday.
This coming Sunday. So the Cosmic Bonbon Show, which airs live on Instagram at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Newfoundland time. If
you got it
correct. Yeah, I'm a fan. All right, I'm just gonna say that. Boop boop. And then we also have the fabulous Joe Kiddo, and they are a performer in and around Montreal. And you can see them at Meadow, and I think we're gonna try to make sure
anymore, sadly.
Oh, yeah, it's over?
Yeah, it was just a one-time thing. I didn't get into the semi-finals, but I had fun. And it was a great experience.
All right, I'm gonna ask this right now. What are you doing Wednesday?
Wednesday, what day is that?
That's 20th? The Vaudeville Day.
Yeah, I know. I have a date with my boyfriend, sadly. He's in town. It's his last week in Canada before God knows when. So I have to enjoy all of my time with him. But I would love to come back to Watteville.
All right.
Any other week.
We will arrange that. So
Amazing.
It's Joe Kiddo, all one word with an underscore at the end on Instagram. And you can find out when and where either of these wonderful performers are performing. The link tree will have links to my shows, including Vaudeville, and so you can come check us out either live or tune in here. There is no show next week, and we have some more questions. Oh my goodness! Oh wow, we've got. All right, we got a bunch of questions have just jumped in, so we're gonna get these out. Hi Doc, what was the drink you had? I got an SAQ card for Easter, and I want the good stuff. We'll all do our recommendations for the good stuff. What's your favorite alcohol to drink? Starting with Joe.
Ooh, I'm not big at the SAQ because they're lacking a lot of good beer options, and I'm just a beer person. I'm sorry, I won't be of any help for that because sometimes you just go in, wander around, and I see something with a nice label on it, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm gonna try that. But I have no recommendation to offer. So sorry.
Do you enjoy any of the Quebec beers, especially the ones with like more of the jokier titles, like the Fin de Mont?
Yes. I love being in Quebec for the beers. They're just amazing. There are so many types all around Canada. It's just amazing. I did a road trip in Ontario, and we went just from small town to small towns for like a couple of weeks. And everywhere we would go, there would be like microbreweries everywhere having amazing beers like you've never tasted them before. And it's just, I love Canada. It's just amazing.
And Wendy.
My SAQ recommendations.
Not just an alcohol recommendation because you're not in Quebec.
Either way, they have this. I think they have it at like here and there anyway. It's a Riesling 2016 Dr. Lucen, and it's a German wine, and it is fantastic. And I tried it for the first time at a chocolate pairing, and I'm telling you, I've never loved chocolate more or wine.
Brilliant. I will mention what I'm drinking. This is Monkey 47. It's got like a stamp-like label. It has a real cork. It's a brilliant sound. It's from the Salzwater region of Germany. It's got a monkey on it because it's called Monkey 47. There's 47 ingredients that go into it. The first batch I ever had was 47%, but I think it's 45% now, just to standardize. And it is proof, not percent. It's the best gin I've ever had. I've been drinking it straight here tonight. I do recommend, though, there's several gins that I would recommend. If you're looking for price points, Madison Park is a Montreal gin, and they do a breakfast gin that involves Earl Grey tea. And if you don't like gin because of the Christmassy flavor, which is the juniper, it doesn't involve juniper, so it doesn't have the sprucey or the juniper flavor that would normally accompanies most gins. And there's another gin that's I really enjoy called Brockman's, which is also good for the price point. I will, of course, on occasion, if I'm forced to, I'll be drinking Tanqueray or Bombay Sapphire, or even the Bombay Madripoor as well. But I have to admit, if I drink Beefeater, my throat will close. It's so vile. I just can't. None of these are. None of these things that we've mentioned are sponsors at all. That's why we ask, people donate to help cover the expenses of the show. So that's, please think about checking it out. Also, make sure you share the YouTube channel. We're at 109 subscribers right now, and we're going to do some more giveaways at 150 and then at 200. So we want to get there. Tell your friends to watch the show and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. And we've got more questions. Here we go. Wendy, what made you start the Cosmic Bonbons? Or start Cosmic Bonbons? Huge fan, by the way. It's directed at
Oh.
Wendy. So we'll give Wendy the first job at this.
I live in denial that I have fans because it makes me embarrassed and happy. Um, I think I started doing burlesque because somebody told me I couldn't. My partner at the time, who I shortly after broke up with, and continued doing burlesque, and I've fallen in love. I don't know if what I do is still considered burlesque, but I'm having fun figuring it out. And I think the reason I stuck with it is just because learning yourself through art and exploring performance and meeting people and just this whole world of being a performer is intoxicating. I can't think of another word for it. It's just learning yourself as somebody different and getting to perform and be raw with your emotion. And really, nothing's more intoxicating than that and addictive. I don't think I could stop if I wanted to now.
Babe. I know that. Joe, do you want to express why you started performing?
It was really random. It was a colleague of mine who told me, hey, my roommate is having an opening night at a dancing school. Do you want to go and check it out? I'm sure you're going to like it. And it was actually Arabesque Burlesque, the burlesque school in Montreal. And I went there and I tried it out with a couple of friends and I fell in love. I've tried ballet and some other kind of dances in the past, but it was always lacking something for me. And I think it was that self-discovery path that Wendy was talking about, and the fact that you can make everything you create your own and unique. It's not just technical, it's not just theater, it's just a combination of so many things that you decide to create for the character you are and for the person you are and what you want to share and the emotion you want to show on stage. And it's the best kind of performances I saw or experienced myself, and I just love it.
Boom. I come from a world of stand-up comedy. I'm full thing. I will mention that the start of the vaudeville show happened because I was asked to, because I had a reputation as somebody who put together good quality and good community-based comedy shows, open mics. And so they asked me to come in, and then I had to sort of build an experience of working with burlesque performers as well as musicians and circus arts. And it's been a delight, and it has grown. We're going to be at 9 years come September. What got me started with performing stand-up was I had always been a fan of televised stand-up, and when I hit a certain age, I went to go see the legal age. I went to go see a stand-up show with a friend, just an open mic. And I didn't understand how open mics are, a lot of them are horrible. And after about the first 3 or 4 acts, and it wasn't a well-paced show, so they put all the horrible acts at the beginning. I nudged my friend. I said, I could be funnier than that. And my friend, great supporter. Just, a lot of my self-esteem come from the support that this person gave me. They looked at me and said, yeah, right. And that was the next week I was on stage, and performing is like heroin, and that was it. I was hooked. My needle comes shaped like a microphone. That's what it is. I get to be said. Now I do want to specify, they were asking about Cosmic Bonbons. So Wendy, what about starting your Instagram show? What was the inspiration?
Oh, I was in Montreal and lockdown just happened, and I moved to Montreal to pursue performing, in particular perform more at the vaudeville show and at the Wiggle Room, and take classes at Arabesque Burlesque. And I had been performing for I just celebrated, I think it was my 6th I feel like it was either my 5th or 6th year anniversary. I don't remember of doing burlesque. But at the time I was just at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was like, I am missing what I came here for. And I'm going through some stuff with my mental health. I'm trapped inside. My family's not here. My chosen family I can't see right now because we're all away from each other in Montreal. And I just wanted to feel that feeling of, putting yourself out there on stage in front of people. And the wonderful thing about the pandemic and doing, as I'm sure Love Doctor, with these live streams, is you get to meet people in ways that you never would have before, because the community is there now and is more supportive. And people realize that when you're working online and working on a live stream, a lot of times you are still working, you're still performing, you're still getting ready in most of the same ways, your hair, your makeup, your outfit, you have to plan what you're doing. And I missed that. And I wanted to see other people continue to do their weird things, and the only friggin' way I could do that is by doing my own thing, it seemed. So I put together a pre-roll show for 420, and that was my first live stream show. And then shortly after, in May is my anniversary for the Cosmic show. I started doing the Cosmic show, and I think it saved me during the pandemic, during those hard weeks, when things get tough in your mind. It just gives you something to get yourself together and do. And sharing art, as like we've all expressed here tonight, is just the thing that kind of keeps you going sometimes. And connecting with people and sharing that one thing about you that is just freaking amazing. Like you, Love Doctor. I've never met another Love Doctor. Or Joe. I've never gotten the chance to see you perform live, but I've seen it online and I've gotten like the goosebumps. And seeing people do these things that they love. That's why you put together shows. You want other people to have the opportunity to do what they love, right? And Love Doctor, I know you feel it too, because you do the Vaudeville variety show and so many other things, and the community that you create for people and giving people opportunities. I've been on that stage because of you and performed with like idols, freaking people I have looked up to for so long. And getting those opportunities was like missed out during the pandemic, It's sad. So you have to keep it going somehow.
Exactly. That's why the donation link is running at the bottom. It's just a subtle plug after the heartstrings have been pulled. And I want to thank you for those glorious words that you just shared with us, Wendy.
Oh, my pleasure.
Can I add something?
Yeah, of course.
My first time on stage ever was at the Vaudeville. It was thanks to you that I ever got on a stage. Yeah. You're the reason I was at the Wiggle Room and on a stage for the first time. And I'm going to be forever grateful for that. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm wearing sunglasses so nobody can see me tearing up.
Yes. The vaudeville means so much to so many people.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, your show, Wendy, I'm still getting like starstruck completely right now. I just started burlesque at the beginning of the pandemic, actually. Like it was the open night at Arabesque, maybe in January. And so in like March, everything was closed. And so I knew nothing about burlesque. And so I started looking at shows and stuff online. And I came out on Instagram and saw your account and your show. And I just binge watched like the Cosmic show, like during the entire pandemic. I was like, okay, so that's cool. Like, and I was taking notes and like figuring what I wanted to do. And like, oh yeah, that's, I'm into that. I want to do something similar to that. So yeah, you both inspired me and like helped me so much create Joe and who I am as a performer right now. So yeah, being with you two tonight was like so much for me right now. Yeah.
That's so nice.
I had to say it. Like I had to say something.
Wendy, you definitely deserve that.
Ears, but oh my god, my face hurts a little.
All right. This is the Love Doctor show. It's the Love Fest show. We have a couple questions to get through to finish up, but I thought that was thank you both for what you said, and I definitely thank you, Wendy, for providing a place and carrying forward everything. But the next question we have is, what's the absolute dumbest question you've ever been asked during one of these shows, and how did you respond? I'm in the hot seat. I'm in the hot seat for this one. This is a hard, because the dumb questions are the ones I just go yes, no, or puh, and move on. Like the amount of times that I've been asked, "What is love?" with little music notes beside it, is just, it's a bit annoying because I have to print these cards and pay for the printing and all that when at the live shows. Show the questions that come up that have a preset bias towards homophobia or misogyny, questions, that involve saying, I'm a nice guy, but, those are the dumb questions. I've been with crowd interactions. I've had some like this was started by a dumb question. It wasn't a totally dumb question, but it was a fairly dumb question, and it was in the past couple years. I think it might have been just before lockdown, or it might have been in the year before lockdown. It was after 2016. But the question was, what would be Donald Trump's drag name? And I think my answer was, I don't think there's any drag room that would let Donald Trump in. Like he doesn't have the qualifications to enter. And there was a number of Americans in the audience, and including a group of young female students who were up, and one and they went, yeah, expletive him, and then one of them said, yeah, fuck that, and then they used the N-word to describe Donald Trump. And it was like a live record scratch in the room. And I had to address that at that moment. These were all very Caucasian appearing students. They were up from New Jersey. And I had to explain that was a word of hate. It's a word, all words are only noises, and they only have meaning because we ascribe meaning to them because of their shared history. And I'd like, to sort of reach out and say, like, understand when you say these words, you're invoking the history and the history of violence against people of color, not just in your country, but around the world. And that it is not a good word to keep on saying. And if it is in the current culture as being taken back by people of color, if you're not a person of color, it's not a word to use. Even people of color generally don't use it that much to denigrate, but some still do. And the thing that hurt the most about that night was, as I was leaving at the end of the night, the other five sort of were rounding on that other person outside saying, you got to find another place to stay tonight. You're not staying with us. And I'm going, this was a chance for a learning experience. This was a chance to sort of maybe reach out to them and educate as well, rather than to just exercise that person from your friend group. I think that was a learning experience, and I think it was sort of missed on both sides, in the fact that they had the chance to reach out and to sort of heal and correct behavior that the majority of people don't find acceptable. But
sometimes you do need some time to get over what someone might have said. So maybe they didn't just throw that person out of the friend group forever, but maybe just for that night, saying, hey, you said something super hurtful and we don't appreciate that, and we don't feel like we can spend the rest of the evening with you anymore. Maybe that's what happened for them. And
I hope so. They did say that person would have to find a different way home, that they wouldn't be traveling with them.
Maybe that's just that for the night. But yeah.
So, Wendy, I can see how thoughtful you're being on that exchange. Were you there that night? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think so, but I have a really big issue with people's comfort with using that particular word when they don't hold the burden of it. And I say burden because even if you don't choose the fact that that word is associated with so many things, and you don't choose how you come into this world, and you don't choose other people's actions for them. People do that themselves. And I feel like when you shout something out in a crowd, you feel empowered. And I know group mentality is a very dangerous thing, but if you shout something out in a crowd like that, you obviously feel comfortable doing so. And I think that's the part that sits with me hard, because I know that like the spaces that, especially at the Wiggle Room and where you perform, are very welcoming spaces, very openly welcoming spaces, tolerate no bullshit like that. And I have a hard time sitting comfortably with the fact that someone felt so comfortable within themselves for that. And I don't necessarily feel comfortable with, as you mentioned, the outcome outside, because I think cancel culture is very dangerous, and I don't think it leaves a lot of room for learning. But yeah, I have a problem with people not understanding the burden that their words carry sometimes, especially with such heavy words with so much history that people don't always understand.
Well said. All right. Do either of you have any dumb questions that you'd...
Yes. I've been waiting.
Hopefully it's a funny one. All right.
Yes. Is the female orgasm real? I remember you getting that question once, and I had to answer. In my turn on the round, and I think it's a dumb question, because I feel bad for that society has not educated people well enough to understand that it's not a myth. Mm-hmm. And I think that, considering how much common sense and knowledge comes out probably before they put their question into this show, we probably already covered that anyway. But it is very real. But I think that's the dumbest question we've got on this show.
I feel like my response would have been, yes, it's real, but it just doesn't happen when they're with you.
I think, yes, that sounds very familiar, actually.
All right, Joe, do you have any favorite nuggets?
Not that comes to mind right now, no, but I think Wendy just said everything. Like, we can't top that.
But, all right. We're going to try with this is the last question of the night. We've been here. I grew up in the era of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If you had to give up one permanently, what would it be and why? Am I still in the how am I still in the hot seat? I was in the hot seat for the last... Oh, fuck's sakes. All right. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. This is hard. All right. Sex is something I very much enjoy. I don't know how skilled I am. I enjoy it. I do my best to make sure my partners enjoy it. I don't think I could give up sex. Even if I was physically incapable, I'd still be thinking of it. Drugs, as I age, I need medication. I don't think therapy will cure all that's wrong with me. So drugs are going to have to be there. Rock and roll, that's just a label for music. I mean, I could just call it maybe heavy blues and soul, or call it or I could call it industrial funk or something like that, and then say, see, no, it's not rock and roll. It's something else. So I'm gonna have to say the rock and roll is what's going to be given up. But I'll still be listening to a lot of things. Oof.
The first thing I think is the rolling the weed. Because if I have to give up drugs, I can give up drugs, but I cannot give up my weed. So I think in theory, I'm not a very sexual person. I think I say I could live without sex, but I know when the day comes, probably down the road sometime, I'll be very mad at myself for that.
It
But
also would include
drugs,
solo.
Yeah.
that's self-love. That's not sex. I think we have a difference of views here, but that's okay. That's all right. I think we're just finding some differences. But yeah, I think I wish I could give up drugs, but apparently my body needs them. I don't know what happened, but it does. Yeah, I'd give up the rock because I can't give up the roll. I might not smoke a lot of joints, but I will switch to joints if there's an ultimatum, and I'll give up the rock. No rocks for no one.
I want to just point something, and can you explain why this is offensive? The province you're currently living in, when people call it the rock.
Oh. I think
Like would you give up that rock?
You see, I never feel like I care about Newfoundland until someone asks me something like that, where I'm put on the spot and I'm like, damn it, I'm a Newfie. But you know what? I think the term "the rock" just comes with negative connotations because we were stuck here at one point with very, lack of the rest of Canada with us, or us with Canada. But I think that, you know what, if I could give up the rock. I could get, Nan's bread shipped to me like I did when I was in Montreal. Mom would send me her lasagna. You know what? Life could go on. But I'm not giving up the roll.
All right. Joe Kiddo. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, drugs depends on what you mean by that, because like I'm addicted to coffee. For instance, I don't take like hard drugs and stuff, but like coffee, alcohol, those are drugs if you think about them. Like that at least. And I wouldn't be able to give up coffee, that's for sure. Now, rock and roll, as in maybe like living alternatively and having fun and being spontaneous and like just going on shows and stuff. Or sex. Ugh, that's a hard one. Yeah, especially if we include the self-love part, because if it's just the partner, sex, or being with other people, I would probably be able to, but the self-love, that would be hard. So yeah, I guess, yeah, the rock and roll, I would have to give that up. If it's good sex, I would give up my performer lifestyle and stuff, but if it's sex, I would probably go with the stage and the lights and stuff. Yeah.
Boom. All right. Another question has come in, so we might as well deal with it. We're just a little over 90 minutes on this, which is the perfect time for the show. I did mention I was going to show a video at the end.
Yes.
And I can't remember what it was about.
Peeps in the microwave.
Oh,
Peeps in the microwave.
I thought you'd forgotten.
Nope. I want to see that. Like, it's part of my Canadian culture learning and stuff. Like, they might ask that.
I don't think that's a Canadian thing, but let's all right.
They might ask that at the citizenship test I'm gonna take one day. You never know. I have to be ready.
Pete,
all right.
How do you plead?
So the last question that we're taking is, are Playboy bunnies Easter bunnies for grown-ups? Happy Easter. Somebody has given us a nice little question there. I want to thank the people that help moderate all the questions coming in for the help that they do. They do a fantastic job. But the last question is, are Playboy bunnies Easter bunnies for grown-ups? Happy Easter, y'all. All right, Joe.
Well, we had a question earlier about whether we preferred candy or chocolate for Easter. And I just say whatever treat you like. Someone had an SAQ card, someone like Playboy, like it's celebration day, whether it's Easter, Ramadan, or Passover, I think. So just go with whatever you like and whatever pleases you and whatever you want to celebrate with.
Boom. And Wendy. Oh, hold it. I'm supposed to be there. No. It was a corporate exploitation. So, all right. Wendy.
No. I don't think that they're Easter bunnies. I don't think that they're treats for adults. I don't. You know what I think are treats for adults? A Peeps free Easter.
Thank Jesus I'm not an adult then. All right. And as what I had promised, let me see if I can have this set up properly. This is just an example of one of the amazing things about marshmallow Peeps is putting it in the microwave. Oh no! Roshan has unsubscribed because of the Peeps hate. There's a lot of Peeps love here.
It's for my culture. I don't know them. That's why. It's the only reason.
All right. Now, the Peeps in the microwave are not the recommended way of having them. And it may just... If you can think of like a Cronenberg or like a Cthulhu type moment. There's a new Cronenberg movie coming out too. Just a second. Let's go with the look here on this. Well, they even have the rabbit Peeps. There we go. That is Peeps in the microwave.
Thank you.
I can taste it.
I hope we don't get a music strike on this show. But that is Peeps in the microwave. If I can make an entertainment suggestion for people right now, there is a new movie. I only saw it sort of by accident. A friend had recommended it, so I had a chance to go see a movie. And if you like your entertainment to be positive, like what I try to do is to express how kindness is good, and that we need to try to be present and be the kindness that's in this world. I went to see the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And it was a fantastic film. With a mainly Asian cast. It's got subtitles for the Asian parts. It's shot to be in America. It's shot in America, I believe. It stars Michelle Yeoh. It also stars co-stars. If you remember Indiana Jones, the second Indiana Jones, there was Short Round. That actor has grown up and he's fantastic. And check it out. Watch the trailer. It's called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It's comedic. It's action. And it actually has an uplifting message. And I think it's delightful. So I will recommend that to people because, it's not very often you leave a theater like, okay, I just watched art, but I feel better. And I feel hopeful. And yeah, I think that's something that we miss a lot in our entertainment. And I think that's part of why the vaudeville variety show has caught with people, is because we try to express kindness. So if you want to express kindness, underneath there's the link. This is donate. There's that was that sounded so. I felt so cheap when I just did that plug at the end, but it is true. My philosophy is about kindness. What was that?
Cheap but necessary.
Cheap but necessary. I mean, all I want from this world is for everybody to treat everybody else like they themselves wish they were treated. Except masochists. Masochists can just chill, and if there's any masochists watching who are hurt by what I said, you're welcome. All right, this has been episode 18 of season 2 of the Love Doctor livestream. And I can't believe we actually showed Peeps in the microwave. Happy Easter, Ramadan, and Passover.